AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muse.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's
That's
name.
not you, Muse. Paul. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yeah.
It's hump day.
Oh, wait. No. Wait. Muse. No. Did we see what happened today? Oh, I mean, it is Muse, it is a hump day.
It's a hump day.
However, today we have learned, Pepe Le Pew, when the Saints head to Gay Paris. How's my French accent, by the way?
It could use some work, I'm not going to lie.
I hate you.
Yeah.
Do we eat a croissant? No?
No, you sound like an American trying to do a French accent.
Nailed it.
Yep. If that's what you're going for, then you're crushing it.
All over it. We knew they were going. Now we know who they're playing. Saints, Steelers, Week 7, October 25th. And I got to thinking to myself, is there a greater contrast on the face of planet Earth than Saints fans and Steelers fans, maybe the most unrefined fans in the NFL? Much love to all of us. But like blue-collar Pittsburgh, blackout drunk New Orleans going to the most refined city in the world for a football game.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, who better than the unofficial mascot of New Orleans, Hold the Mayo, to share his insights here. Dev, what up, man?
From Napoleon Avenue to Napoleon Sarcophagus.
Let's go.
We headed to France.
Right out the chute. Hey, are you going?
I don't know, man. If I'm trying to lose a few pounds, for sure, you know.
Dev.
Going from eating gumbo to French onion soup, I don't know, man. I might.
Is French onion soup a real thing in France? Or is that something we came up with?
It is French onion soup. They got to have a lot of it out there. There's no way they don't.
How about like Saints fans doing a second line down the Champs-Élysées?
Yeah, they're not going to even know what that is. That's the thing. There's a lot. Look, nobody's really going to know what's going on. Saints fans or Steelers fans. You know, it's like for Saints fans, it's tough, man. It's you used to eating po' boys, but now you're going to be eating baguette sandwiches.
Baguette.
You going beignets, right?
Yeah.
No. How about croissant? How about a croissant?
You got to say it like hey, do you do a French accent ever, or do you just flush that?
I took a French class in high school. It was first period, dude. I was selling snacks.
I remember I had PE first period one time. Anyway, I'm just thinking about, would Saints fans roll up into the Louvre? Like, are they going to check out the Mona Lisa?
They're going to do something dumb to the Mona Lisa. That's my prediction on that.
You remember that guy that threw like a bowl of spaghetti at it?
Oh, yeah. That's terrible.
Dev,
That's terrible.
I got this picture of like Saints fans going on a tour of like the Seine River and taking a leak like they're on Bourbon Street, just right off the side of the boat.
I think they're just going to be blown away by what the food's like, too. I mean, you got to figure. They're going to be pissed when they find out 12 snails cost 20 euros in France. You see eating crawfish.
Bro, do you think they would eat snails like crawfish? You think they'd be sitting there trying to like crack the tail?
That's a thing out there, though. I don't know. Do they?
I don't know.
I guess they do. They just suck the snail out the snail.
Devin, I'm going to ask you a question that I think I probably should know the answer. Have you never had escargot?
I actually have one time.
There you go.
Oh my God.
So you know how to eat escargot.
Oh, yeah. I called my parents after, dude. That was a big day. I'll never forget that. That was a big day at Luke in New Orleans. And, yeah, no, escargot's a thing out there. That's what I'm saying. Cholesterol levels are going down for any fan. Saints fans, Steelers fans, you know. Steel curtain to the French curtain, bro.
How do you think Saints fans would interact with French people? Because French people are notoriously rude to Americans. Like, what happens if a rude Frenchman like rolled up on you and was like, filthy American? Like, what would you do to a Frenchman that was rolling up on you?
Well, they're gonna realize real quick that I'm from down here, and I don't know a lick of French. I know how they say that they got French ties down here. I ain't never met a French person. I don't know a lick of French. So, to me, they're just gonna be talking. You know, I guess you could learn a few words, but how much could you learn? French seems hard, bro.
It'd be in their tone, though, Dev. And it is the French Quarter. Like, you don't think you'd be rolling through talking about the French Quarter? Walk around like you know you're well, like the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, the St. Louis Cathedral, right there in New Orleans, in the French Quarter. There's a lot of commonalities. The Cabildo.
There really is.
The Cabildo.
No Bourbon.
Is the Cabildo?
No Bourbon Street, though.
Is the Cabildo French or is that Spanish? It sounds Spanish.
Sounds Spanish as hell.
Yeah, it does. You think they'll play Chapa style in the stadium?
Yeah, they'll love that. They'll love that. Dude, to be honest with you, I don't know what to expect. You know, just going to like a restaurant, what would you expect? What do they hunt out there? Do the French hunt?
I think
you know. What am I ordering? Grilled unicorn?
I'd probably take Jimmy Ott. Like, take Jimmy Ott.
Oh my God.
No, I'm serious. Jimmy's a foodie. So he and I went to it one year at SEC Media Days in Atlanta. He took me to a place called Bistro Nico. It was like a French restaurant in Atlanta. And he's ordering the coq au vin. And I mean, like, the whole menu was in French, and Jimmy was at home. Now, it was before he had his eye surgery, so he's like literally putting the flashlight on his phone so he could see the menu and all that stuff. But dude could like read the French menu. I mean, he was ordering all the stuff.
There's a lot of similarities, though. I will give you that. There really is. When you really think about it, it's just a little different. You know, even with the Pittsburgh, it's like, what is it, the ketchup, Heinz 57?
Yeah.
Well, what is the drink out there? French 75. Dude.
Just flip the number. You know what? My wife loves a good French 75. She just recently discovered a French 75. Likes that a lot.
They'll get you fired up. They'll get you real fired up.
Dev, what kind of content would you do if you were in France for this game?
Oh, I'd definitely be going all over the restaurants, for sure. Just trying to see that's how I feel about any country, really. But yeah, I'd be all over the restaurant scene. I'd be looking for some caskets. You know, I'd probably go see Napoleon's. Where's that dude Jean Lafitte at? Somewhere out there.
Wait, was he buried in France or is he buried in New Orleans?
I'm not sure. I know he helped save New Orleans, though.
Did he?
Appreciate that, Gene. Yeah, Kellen's gonna have to run the Jean Lafitte suite.
Hey, wait a second. I don't know that history. I thought he was like a pirate, but he was like a good pirate. How did he save New Orleans? I don't know that story.
Well, he was a bad guy. He started out as just a bad guy pirate, right? And then he somehow got in cahoots with Andrew Jackson, and they saved New Orleans in Chalmette, dude, where I'm from.
Listen to my guy. Did you pay attention at Louisiana history or something like that?
Loved history.
I don't remember any.
Especially Louisiana history. Yeah.
No, for sure. I had a relative that that was hanged there in the French Quarter because he tore down, like, during the Civil War, he tore down the flag when the Union was, like, occupying New Orleans, and they hanged him. William Mumford. It's my grandfather's name, too, by the way. He's in, like, all the history books.
This is like a great relative?
Oh, yeah, he's like my fifth great-grandfather. Like, good thing he had a kid before he got hanged because, I mean, otherwise I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean?
And that's in the history books, you said. Nobody just left a message, huh?
No, dude's name is William Bruce Mumford. And my grandfather's name is William. And his brother, my great-uncle, is Bruce. So, yeah, it's like a family name, yeah, for sure. In the history books.
That's incredible.
But I didn't know the whole thing about Jean Lafitte. Or Jean Lafitte. Or Jean. Dev, we got to get you... Bro, we got to get you sponsored to go to this game on October the 25th. Like, somebody's got to step up and sponsor Hold the Mayo in Paris. I mean, for all of us, seeing you in the Champs-Élysées, the Arc de Triomphe, the Luxembourg Gardens, hell, get you to the actual Moulin Rouge. I mean, Devin Snow in Paris has got to happen.
Honestly, I mean, you gassing this up, I'm believing in it, though. Like, I really do. I think that would be great. Now, here's the thing. I haven't flown in like 10 years. How can I get there by boat? Right?
Wait, have you not flown just because you don't like to fly, or you just haven't had anywhere to go?
I've flown like 30 times in my life. I just stopped. I don't know. Something happened in 2017, and I just never got – it was with Spirit Airlines, and I just never got back on the plane after that.
That's your problem, dog. What are you talking about, man? I don't think you're flying Spirit.
Dude, they couldn't find a pilot to fly the plane, bro. I was like, whoa.
Okay, well, that's that's your fault, Dev. Like, you booked a ticket on Spirit.
It just made me start thinking. I was like, damn, bro, they called like 7 pilots and nobody wanted to come fly this plane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Well, you booked a ticket with Spirit, Dev. That's the problem. Like, you could, I mean, they're like former military pilots that fly commercial airlines. Like, you could do it super safely. You know what I mean? We got to make this happen. All right, this is a new mission for me. Hold the Mayo in Paris. You'll get your ass on a plane, yeah?
Yeah, I'll just do it. You know? I'll just do it. I'm going to hate it, but I'll just do it.
All right, any takers, who wants to, I need businesses out there to sponsor Hold the Mayo in Paris.
I mean, do they even have beer out there, dude?
Hell yeah, they got beer. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they got beer. Now, I think the thing about some of those pubs, though, is that, like, the beer is warm. I don't know if you can find a cold beer.
Right, spit it right out. Yeah,
that might be the problem. But that may be old wives' tale, Dev. I've never been to Paris. I don't know. Someone who's been to Paris, tell me. Can you get cold beer in Paris?
I think I'd have the time of my life, to be honest.
Right.
I really do.
Dev, you'd have the time of your life if I sent you to the moon, bro. Like, you would just – that's why people love you, man. You know? All right.
Too true, man. I'd have the time of my life in Montana.
Hey, man, you can have a good time in Montana. Bring some whiskey, hang out, listen to the coyotes howl or whatever howls in Montana. Watch the bison run. That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful.
That is nice.
Yeah.
You laid that out great.
See? Are you excited about it now?
Yeah, no, I'm pumped, man. Let's make it happen. Mayo to Paris. Sounds good, too.
I love
Mayo
this.
to Paris.
There's no way the New Orleans Saints should play the first ever NFL game in Paris without Devin Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo, in attendance. You got to have your ass in Paris that whole week. I need you at the Louvre. I need you on the Champs-Élysées. I need you at the top of the Eiffel Tower. I need you at the Cathedral of Notre Dame. I need you at Luxembourg Gardens. I need you taking a tour of the Seine River. I need you all over the place in Paris.
That's a lot, dude. I love it, dude. I really do.
Taylor Calandro texted me. He said, Jesus, there's cold beer in Paris. Laughing face emoji. So there you go. We sound like idiots. But no, he's a guy he would know. Taylor travels all over the world, and he's a wine and spirits guy, so he would know. So good. All right. We got you.
Taylor's the type of guy, he'd just read an almanac just to let time go by.
I don't think Taylor's really reading an almanac. All right. I got to run. But listen, keep your calendar clear for that week because I'm gonna find some way to get that sponsored and get Hold the Mayo in Paris. We're doing this.
Let's do it, man. I'm going to get a French hat just to, you know what I'm saying, start the whole process. And I figure, I'll be ready.
A beret. How about Devin Snow in a beret smoking a cigarette with one of the long cigarette holders? God, that would be so good. All right, dude. Thanks for the time. We'll catch you.
All right, I'll see y'all.
Later, bud. That's Devin Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo. Y'all get him on all the socials. Get him on YouTube. Get him everywhere. I'm so excited about that. We got to get Dev to Paris. All right, we'll brainstorm. If you got ideas about how we can get Devin Snow to Paris, hit me up. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com. Visit yourgoodwood.com for Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Remember, hormone replacement therapy. Yes, they do ED treatments as well. Peptides. They got it all for you at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness to help you feel better. One of the things, I was actually over there yesterday. One of the things that I'm hearing so much, I'm very glad to hear this, by the way. A lot of men that are currently on HRT at another clinic are switching. And there's one in particular that's the most egregious offender. And if you know what it is, you know what it is. But a lot of clinics, or there's some clinics that charge membership fees. They overcharge for the actual hormone therapy. And by the way, Goodwood, lowest prices, never any contracts. You don't pay a membership fee. And also, when you go get your blood labs every 6 months, they pick up that cost. So why wouldn't you switch? Yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
In the interview Lane Kiffin did with, with Wilson Alexander earlier this week, it was interesting that the thing that stood out most to me was Lane saying, effectively acknowledging that year one, Ole Miss might be better than LSU, but this wasn't a one-year stop. It was a 2, 3, 4, and the long tail will be better. I don't know that there's a lot of people around here who are going to have that degree of patience. Brad Crawford, good enough to join us, CBS Sports college football writer. Yo, man, good to have you as always. How are you?
Hey, man, good to hear from you. You know, while I do agree with Lane that maybe Ole Miss is going to be irrelevant after the 2026 season, I'm with you, man. I don't think a 9-3 finish, 8-4 finish for LSU is going to appease the natives there.
So much of that, Brad, is just the investment.
Yeah.
Right. The roster that's north of $40 million, and I have no problem saying that they spent more than $40 million on this roster. What do you think should be a realistic goal year one for Lane Kiffin?
I've got LSU as my 9 seed making the playoff as one of the SEC's 4 best teams. I think being in that elite tier of the conference is maybe too optimistic, but if you ask Lane Kiffin behind closed doors, maybe not on the record, I think he would tell you that he believes he has a 2 deep that's good enough to get to the playoff. He's going to need to win that game against Ole Miss, obviously, early in the season. That's probably a swing game. The loser of that, I don't think, makes the CFP this season. But, I mean, if Lane really does plan on having this, multi-year type rebuild, then that means everybody he signed, like you said, for $40 million plus, doesn't pass the eye test. And I argue that it does. Sam Levitt, he's a great fit in this Kiffin scheme. You go and pay $4 million for a starting tackle in Jordan Seaton, who's probably going to be a top 10 pick. And then defensively, you got some key guys back as well as some portal additions. So I think LSU, man, could win it all this season.
Brad, where do you rank Levitt among SEC quarterbacks?
I've got him number 2 behind Trinidad Chambliss. Now that's kind of the glass half full approach. I think there's some other guys. Arch Manning. I'd probably have Sam Levitt 3 actually, with Chambliss 1, Arch Manning 2. I really enjoyed and liked what Arch Manning did those final 6 starts. Looked very good in the bowl game. Kind of figured out Steve Sarkisian's offense. But Levitt's a guy that obviously he dealt with that Liz Frank injury. We think he's going to be 100% when fall camp starts. I think he just was sort of sitting out spring practice as a insurance policy, because when you invest that much into a quarterback, you've got to have him 100% for fall camp. And, he's going to be the straw that stirs this thing for the Tigers, and he's going to have some help in the backfield, too, with Harlan Berry and Caden Durham and some of those guys.
If Levitt is not 100%,
I'm worried. Yeah.
How far? Like where do you think then that dings LSU? How far?
Maybe an extra loss or two. I think Sam Leavitt, if he's healthy, LSU is at worst 10-2 this season. And that's with, a very good defense. I like the pass rusher they got from Ole Miss. Obviously, had a bunch of offers. T.J. Daughtry's going to wear a green dot, and he has the last 2 years with the Rebels now in Baton Rouge. So, but if Sam Leavitt is not a, dual threat, really top 10 player nationally at that position, then you start getting into that 8-4 or maybe the dreaded 7-5 range. But for LSU to finish 7-5, the Tigers would basically go 0-5 against, the top 20 teams they're playing this season.
Brad Crawford's with us from CBS Sports 24/7. Well, you want to get his stuff there. He's got a SEC spring reactions and overreactions. Brad, why are you so bullish on LSU this year?
I think it's the roster and the fact that, Ole Miss has got 9 new starters on defense. Alabama has more questions right now coming out of spring practice than answers. I mean, Kalen DeBoer swears to everybody that this program in Tuscaloosa is going to have a more physicality mindset, but that's never been Kalen DeBoer's MO. And it's hard to change that in one offseason when you didn't really sign a bunch of guys in the portal who, sort of define that physicality standard. So I just think that this window right now is already open for Lane Kiffin. I like how the schedule sets up. I know it's difficult, but it's not as hard as what Texas faces, not as hard as what Oklahoma faces or Ohio State. So LSU is just one of those teams that I think is among those 8 to 10 capable of being the last team standing in late January.
Who are the others? I know you said Texas. Who are the other playoff teams that you would project from the SEC?
Yeah, Texas is not my overall 1 seed. I've got Miami as my preseason number 1. I was actually the only guy at CBS when we had our numbered heads together here recently that has Miami 1. I love what Cristobal has done this offseason with the roster. But I think Texas, Steve Sarkisian calls this his best roster. That's saying a lot because he's had a ton of first-round picks there with the Longhorns. But I'm in agreement. Colin Simmons is the best defensive player in the country. I think he's going to have a 12 to 15 sack season. And then I think the 2 seed, despite some of those draft losses, is likely Georgia out of the SEC. I mean, every year we think Kirby Smart is taking the foot off the gas a little bit in recruiting because he's not, flexing NIL muscles the way Lane Kiffin and Oregon and Dan Lanning and some of those coaches do. But every year, man, in early December, Georgia plays in Atlanta, and I don't see anything changing this fall.
Is Bama your third?
No, I think Bama's out of the playoff. I haven't taken Bama as a preseason playoff team in probably 4 years. I was surprised Bama got there last year, to be honest with you. And I just think with 3 new offensive line starters, really no-name receivers outside of Ryan Williams returning, and then, beyond the elite secondary, there's some issues I have with Alabama up front. It would not surprise me, man, if LSU is a 8 to 9.5 point favorite in that game in November.
You and I agree on Bama. I've been shouting that since quite literally the moment Nick Saban retired. The regression was going to happen. So Texas, Georgia, LSU. Who's the fourth?
I think it's going to be either Ole Miss or Texas A&M. That's one of those teams is going to be that fourth playoff team. I really only think Texas, Georgia, and LSU were the national title contenders. At the SEC. Ole Miss lost too much defensively, including its 2 best players to Lane Kiffin, to warrant a high seed.
What about just the just losing Kiffin and the offensive staff, the impact that may have on Ole Miss?
If I'm Pete Golding, I'm telling Trinidad Chambliss, we're paying you $5 million for a reason. Go out there and make plays, and whenever we don't ask you to throw, just give it to Keywan and let him get 1,500 yards. I mean, they have arguably the best quarterback-running back combo, 1-2 punch, in my opinion, in college football. Maybe if Ohio State had a guy in the backfield, it'd be the Buckeyes. But Ole Miss is right now a 2-player program. And I just don't think beyond 2026, Pete Golding is going to be able to have these 9 and 10 win seasons that Lane Kiffin was able to sustain in Oxford. We saw it a few years ago at Florida State, man. Mike Norvell reloaded through the portal, went 13-1. In the last couple of years, he tried to do the same thing, and just the evaluations and quality of players in the portal haven't been there for the Noles. And I think we're going to see a similar tailspin beyond this fall in Oxford.
At B Crawford 247 is where you can get him. Brad Crawford, CBS Sports. Who coming out of spring, Brad? Last one. Are we not talking enough? Which school are we not talking enough about?
In the SEC or national?
Both.
I'm going with Miami. Miami was preseason number 7 at CBS in our post-spring rankings. But everything I'm hearing out of Coral Gables, man, Mario Cristobal is not worried at all about the couple starters he lost on the O-line. I think Darian Minster, the Duke quarterback, he's a better fit in Shannon Dawson's offense than Carson Beck and even Cam Ward were, and both those guys had great years. I asked Shannon Dawson back in January after the title game. I covered that one, and I just asked him, based on this quarterback signing, whoever you guys are going to get, where is the ceiling for this team? And he said, as long as we get Malachi Toney and Mark Fletcher, some of those guys back, we're going to win it all next year. And they're my preseason number 1 for a reason. I think one team, too, that maybe is a little bit over-touted heading in is Notre Dame. Several coworkers have had the Irish as their preseason number 1, but you just don't lose 2 first-round running backs and replace those guys in a singular cycle. And if Notre Dame's schedule was not, cupcake easy beyond a game against Miami in November, I think the Irish would win, 9 games. But since it is easy, I certainly see why Notre Dame is a preseason playoff threat.
Yeah, you can't win the championship if you don't get in, and if you play an agreeable schedule, you can certainly get in. So you said Miami. What about in the SEC? Who's someone in the SEC we're not talking enough about?
Kentucky. I don't think Kentucky's a contender by any means, but it would not shock me if the Wildcats, go from 3 wins to maybe 7 this season. I think they're going to get South Carolina early in the season, like Will Stein a lot. And, man, outside of Texas and LSU and Ole Miss, I think Kentucky spent more money than most of those mid to bottom tier teams in the conference. I mean, they really things panned out well roster-wise for Will Stein. And he loves Kenny Minchey, the backup quarterback at Notre Dame last year, who just about, unseated C.J. Carr for that job. So I think Kentucky, moving forward, that will be a team this offseason that I go ahead and buy stock in at a super low price.
LSU plays in Lexington in October. It's always a fun trip to go up there. Sneaky, but you might be right on the Wildcats. Brad Crawford, CBS Sports. He's at B Crawford 24/7 if you want to give him a follow. We appreciate it, man. Thanks for the time.
Hey, good to hear from you, man.
Always. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing. ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Storm season's just about here, y'all. June 1 is the official start of hurricane season. It's almost here. Make sure you get that free, no-obligation roofing inspection. We'd love to help you out. ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Roof repairs, roof replacements, gutters, soft wash, commercial, residential, do it all. And we're here. We're local. ParishBuilt.com. Hey, we had awful weather last Friday, Saturday, and then, of course, on Monday of this week as well. If you had any leaks, water intrusion, think you're not sure, you see granules on the floor, look at your downspouts of your gutters. If you see granules there coming out of your downspouts after a rain, pretty good indication that maybe you're having some wear and tear on those shingles. We should probably get up there and take a look. Let us help you out, ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know, Parish Construction and Roofing. Voted by you the best roofing company and the best of Baton Rouge, ParishBuilt.com. All right, it's After Further Review. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. We'll knock out a quick break, go around the SEC. Taylor Calandra will join us in 15 minutes. Jay Johnson met with reporters earlier today. Might have a change to the pitching rotation this weekend. We'll get to that here in about a half an hour from right now. Scott Shanley next hour. Ton to do. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
GLO. GlowResources.com. GlowResources.com, GlowResources.com. At Glow Resources, they're fond of saying we are complete employer solutions because at Glow Resources, they work for you, the business owner. Very often say that. It's they're not a temp staffing agency. They're finding permanent solutions to help you, the business owner, the hiring manager, the HR manager, the vice president, the operations manager, to help you find those permanent solutions. And listen, it's every industry. If you go look at Glow Resources and the industries they serve, it's quite literally every industry. Industrial, manufacturing, construction, the skilled trades, marine, energy, warehouse, logistics, administrative, clerical, accounting, finance, customer service, doesn't matter. Like all industries. Glow Resources can help you find the people to make your business more efficient. So if you're hiring and you need the right people, Glow Resources can help. GLO, glowresources.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Spring is here, and that means it's time for a little cha-ching. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Citizens Bank and Trust are giving you a chance to win $5,000 cash with the Spring Cha-Ching Sweepstakes. Head to 1045ESPN.com and get registered today for your chance to win $5,000. It's quick, it's easy, and someone is going to walk away with some serious spring spending money. The Spring Cha-Ching Sweepstakes, presented by Citizens Bank and Trust, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The Collegiate Sports Commission, they won their first major arbitration battle. An arbiter upheld their decision to deny a set of deals involving Nebraska football players. There was 18 football players from Playfly Sports. Of course, that's the LSU's partner through NILSU Max. And it was millions of dollars in payments to these 18 players. And so I'll be fascinated to see what Nebraska does in turn. As I understand it, when these NIL deals go to the CSC, and by the way, if you're not familiar, I'll try to oversimplify this. This is the true third-party NIL, right? You have to actually show market value. You can't just say, I'm going to do a $5 million deal with this player and he's going to do one Instagram post. Like that, it has to be market value. So you put together the NIL deal, you submit it to the CSC for approval. If it's rejected, it's initially sent back. You have 5-7 days, something like that, to edit it, and then resubmit, at which point it's either thumbs up or thumbs down. So in this situation, Nebraska clearly still had the thumbs down and went to an arbiter independently, and the arbiter upheld the CSC's ruling. So there are those instances, and I think what is important to note just from an LSU perspective, that's primarily what we talk about here, is LSU has done a ton of due diligence from the onset of the third-party NIL to make sure they are appropriately submitting these deals to get them approved. Remember, we talked about it when Nike chose to do that. They launched their program with LSU's athletes. It's because LSU had really worked hard to put those systems in place to make sure that there was fair market value throughout all these deals. So it's something worth watching to see not only if there continue to be deals that aren't approved. If those deals aren't approved, remember, you can't sign an athlete guaranteeing them third-party NIL. You can only say, I'll do my best to get you what I think is your value of X. Now, in revenue share, you can give them that money, whatever that number is. Like, if LSU wants to give Sam Levitt $5 million out of the revenue share, by the way, I don't know if that's the number, just to be very clear. But if LSU wanted to just give Sam Levitt $5 million out of the revenue share, they could guarantee that in the contract. But with NIL, it's got to be market value. So if you aren't able, if a school isn't able to deliver the third-party NIL deals it promised or thought it could get for these student athletes, does that word start to spread? Does that then make it more difficult for some of these schools to recruit those third-party athletes? Just something to follow as that moves along. But it's a big win for the CSC as an independent arbiter ruled in favor of the CSC and against Nebraska and those 18 players, the $1 million of deals. All right, it's after further review. Millions of dollars. You could buy a lot at Lee Michaels. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. lmfj.com. Graduation time, high school, college, got a graduate on your list? Man, you always get great graduation gift options at Lee Michaels. Any of their 9 locations, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, always online at lmfj.com. Timeless, elegant pearls, a great graduation gift. Maybe a beautiful watch. So many different options. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry has tons of options for the graduate in your life, on your list. Shop them online at lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, it's after further review. Do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Missouri Tigers.
Good news that Ahmad Hardy, running back who had been shot in the leg, has been discharged from a Mississippi hospital. Of course, was a Doak Walker finalist this past year, led the SEC in rushing. Was shot over the weekend in the leg while attending an outdoor concert. Good news is he's out. The injury's not thought to be career-threatening. Eli Drinkwitz said we'll take it day by day. Good news, Ahmad Hardy's out of the hospital.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Punter Connor Smith is going to miss the 2026 season due to injury. Ryan Silverfield disclosing that during an appearance in Fayetteville. Smith missed all of spring practice. Again, the injury was not disclosed. But redshirt freshman Gavin Rush, a.k.a. G. Rush, like Gordy Rush, but not. It's Gavin Rush. It's Gordy's twin brother. What?
I don't think it is.
Yeah, it's his twin brother.
No, I think there's a pretty big age difference there.
Doesn't matter.
For them to be twins, yes, it does.
Like Scott Bakula in Unnecessary Roughness or Necessary Roughness. When he went back to school as a 40-year-old.
That doesn't mean he's the same. He could be a twin.
Yeah. He's 57. He's going back to school. Gavin Rush. It's Gordy's twin.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
You don't know. Don't hit that drop. I wasn't ready to move on. Talking about Gordy's twin brother Gavin.
It's not him.
His twin brother Gavin.
No.
He's 57. Punting for Arkansas this year. All right, hit it.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
2027 linebacker Tamoris Campbell is committed to Georgia, 6'2", 210. He's out of Miami, 7th member of Georgia's class. Picked the Dogs over Nebraska, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, Florida State, and others. He's the nation's number 901 prospect. 79th best linebacker in the country. Not exactly what you typically see at Georgia.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
I'll drop my paper. Josh Elander updated Landon Mack's status for Tennessee's series against Oklahoma. The pitcher is day-to-day with general arm soreness. Missed his start against Texas on Sunday. No major updates right now from Elander on Mack, who's 4-4 with a 4.67 ERA.
Texas A&M!
And Michael Early confirmed Aiden Sims will not be available this weekend for Texas A&M against Mississippi State. Quote, had some tightness, needs some rest, need to make sure he's ready to go for the long haul. Sims has thrown 68 innings for the Aggies this season. Aggies need a series win over State to solidify a top 8 national seed. There you have it. That is around the SEC. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. By the way, they will waive the consult fee over at Goodwood for all military first responders. You need to have your an acceptable ID, an official ID. But if you're a first responder, Goodwood, free office visits for first responders, police, firefighters, military. Get on and see them. Treatments for ED, low T, peptides we talk about all the time. Yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. All right, we'll wrap up hour number 1. Taylor Calandra will be here for Bourbon Dictionary. Stick around. It's AFR.
After further review.
Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Been doing it for 60 years, man. That's awesome. 6 decades. Always encourage you to buy local and shop local. Bypass the big box stores. With the weather getting beautiful right now after the rains have subsided, 84 and sunny, you want to go get out in your garden? Great. Go to Clegg's. Not only just for all your beautiful flowers and blooms, but everything you need to keep the unwanted pests away. Maybe it's weeds, weed grass, maybe it's ants or mosquitoes, whatever it may be, they can help you out at Clegg's Nursery. So bypass the big box stores and support a great local business that supported our community for more than 60 years. Segan Air Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. It's Clegg's Nursery. So buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in when you go see our friends at Clegg's Nursery.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. They're the gang with the slang.
Keep it 100. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandra.
I don't understand.
So Aaron texted and said, it's in reference to our convo with Devin Snow, a.k.a. Holden Mayo, earlier. Said Jean Lafitte told the British he'd give them passage through the swamp, showed them the way to New Orleans, said he slaughtered them. That's the short version. What a badass.
The old bait and switch. Look at that.
Just killed everybody. Pirates, man. You can't trust a pirate.
Nope.
Can't do it. Taylor, what up, dude?
How it happened back then, man. That's just how it still happens. That's how it happens now. But
I don't know. I don't know that there's a lot of pirates out there right now. Are there?
oh, sure, man.
No, not in New Orleans.
Oh, no, not New Orleans.
I mean, those waters right there. It's
Orleans.
way too public. Those waterways right there and all that stuff. Right there by the French Quarter.
That Paris conversation was, it was tough.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, just some of the references and things. But I've been there, so it's just like...
Oh, you're one of those snooty a-holes then. Why don't you just go move to France then, you jerk?
We've talked about it, man.
Good. Go do it then. We don't need you here.
Yeah. No, it was all good, man. That's exciting that the Saints are going there. That's one of my favorite places in the world. It is a fantastic city, regardless of what anybody says. So
no, it's terrible the Saints are going there. We lose a home game in the Dome, so they go play it in Stade Franco Paris, whatever the hell it's called. It's stupid. You take all the economics away from New Orleans and move it to Paris. That's dumb.
From a fan's point of view in the United States, it makes zero sense. But hey, it is what it is, man.
Whatever.
But they try to force soccer on us over here, so you got to do it over there.
It's
return the favor.
It's taken hold for a lot of people here. Anyway.
For sure, it's huge.
What's going on? What's new?
PGA Championship is this week. Golf. PGA Championship of Golf.
Yeah.
At Aronimink, and Elijah Craig is the official bourbon of the PGA Championship the last few years, or of the PGA Tour, I think, too. But last few years, they've done a commemorative bourbon for the PGA Championship. They did Valhalla. I can't remember where they were last year. Was Valhalla last year? I can't remember. Anyway.
I'm the wrong guy to ask.
Yeah, I know. Scotty got arrested at Valhalla. I just can't remember if that was last year or whatever.
Oh, no, that's been a minute.
It was a year or two ago. It wasn't that long ago. Regardless, they do a commemorative bourbon for the PGA Tour, or for the PGA Championship every year, and we just got it. This year it's 108 proof for the 108th PGA Championship. Other than that, it's just Elijah Craig. It's 108 proof. I haven't tried it. It's $40. But it's cool. I have the first couple bottles. I just like. I'm not a big collector of things, but I love golf, so that's one of the few bourbon things that I do collect is golf-related bourbon items.
Anyway.
Yeah,
there. If you're watching, there's the label of it. Yeah, I got a bottle of it last year. It comes in like the blue box as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool commemorative if you're in that.
Yeah, I mean, the liquid itself is not going to knock your socks off, but
it's what it is.
Like I said, for golfers, it's one of my things. So, anyway.
All right, let's get to some questions. Alex said, "Hey Taylor, what happened to the 2026 allocations?"
They were very light, and I think we're just holding on to them for this year.
Okay, so no raffle this year.
Very light. No.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Very light.
Clayton said, ask Taylor, do you carry any Cristalino tequila?
Yes, Cristalino it's generally Reposado. But they do have Añejo Cristalino. Most expressions are a little bit younger, but anyway, it's a Reposado or Añejo run through a charcoal filter to remove the color from the liquid. It kind of some of them are very good. They drink like aged tequila, but they're clear. But what was the question about them? Sorry, I went off on a tangent.
Just if you had it, if you sold it.
Oh yeah. We've got several different Cristalinos. I mean, most tequila houses make a Cristalino, and generally they're pretty good. I mean, they can run up a little bit, but there's some good reasonably priced Crystalinas out there.
Craig said, did you see the line this morning at Buffalo Trace? They released the E.H. Taylor 4-grain. I haven't seen – I heard that. I haven't seen an E.H. Taylor 4-grain in 5 years, maybe longer than that. I did hear they released it again, which is awesome. So if anybody sees it, snag me one.
That's makes me feel good about bourbon if there's still lines forming. I mean, I know there's still lines forming for stuff like that, but I thought that was all done with.
All right, we gotta go. We gotta go.
See you, man.
See you, Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. Get on by and see him. All right, hour 2 coming up right after Sports Center. Jay Johnson making some changes to his pitching rotation. We'll talk about it. AFR.
After further review.
Brought about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Hey, a couple things to remind you about. We're getting into summer and storm season. 2 times a year where it's particularly important to remind you about Relief Windows. Summer, of course, it's super hot. So when you install their energy-efficient windows, remember it's going to lower your energy bills because it's going to reduce or eliminate those costly air leaks. And when you install these energy-efficient windows, like they do this test where you can see they'll put a thermometer under a regular glass pane window and their energy-efficient window. And so you can see the temperature difference between the two. So it's literally going to keep your rooms more energy efficient, climate controlled. And then also they've got the Impact Force windows, Cat 5 approved in Miami-Dade County. So you want to add an extra layer of security to your home? Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows.